Over the past 6 decades, the mass production of plastics has grown so rapidly that it has created over 8.3 billion metric tons of waste throughout the world. The manufacturing of plastics has accelerated at a record pace, doubling roughly every 15 years and far surpassing the rate of every other man-made material. This has all led to one very big question. What can we do with all this plastic?
The amount of plastic produced and used in the world continues to grow every year, and the trend is rising faster than for any other material, thanks to its versatility, durability, great strength, and many other properties. Unfortunately, most of the plastic produced worldwide is not being recycled correctly, or not recycled at all, as still a big percentage of it is either being landfilled, incinerated, or in some cases even worse, as it is being dumped into rivers, carrying plastic waste from deep inland to the sea, making them major contributors to ocean pollution, causing severe environmental consequences.
There has long been a way to address this problem, and it's through recycling. Unfortunately, the current rate is woefully inadequate to properly address the problem. A study released in the journal Science Advances revealed that only 9% of all plastic has been recycled.
Plastics are the most circular materials even invented, in terms of advantages, environmental impact for the production, variety of use, and recycling properties. Treated correctly, plastics are not a polluting material, and waste plastic must be considered as a value, like a secondary raw material that has the amazing power to recreate the original product. It was used for, or even to create, a new made of 100% recycled materials.
In Italy, one firm has a proud history in the mechanical manufacturing industry that dates back more than 55 years. In 1996, that firm, FIMIC, developed a state-of-the-art filtration process that has supplied customers worldwide, including the United States, with access to technology that ensures recycling is done properly. FIMIC's melt filter serves as one of the most critical steps in recycling plastics and is necessary to removing impurities and contaminants from melted plastics.
When the collected plastics reach the recycling center, they are sorted into separate sections by computing systems to correctly categorize them by polymer type and by color. Therefore, it is important to understand that not all plastics are the same, and they must be separated at the moment of recycling. So if you put them together, the computing systems cannot determine what type of material it is and are therefore not going to be recycled. The melt filter is a machine that is being installed between an extruder, that is where the melting takes place, and a pelletizer machine, that is where the melt is cut into pellets. The melt filter is used to clean, usually, highly contaminated plastics, using filtering screens to stop the contaminants from flowing through, and collecting them by using a hollow scraper.
Recycling companies throughout the world have realized the technical, financial, and environmental advantages of the melt filter. It performs better due to a wide filtration surface. Because it needs only one screen and 2 blades, the filter guarantees the lowest operational cost in the market. And its filtration technology allows companies to recycle even the most difficult of materials, giving them a new life instead of the alternative of ending up in a landfill or an incinerator.
FIMIC melt filter is the best alternative for recycling post-consumer plastics for many reasons. One of them being the wide filtration surface that the FIMIC RES melt filters are based on, which corresponds to an increase in production capacity. This key feature, among others, sets FIMIC's technology apart from its competitors on the market, who split the melt flow into multiple filtration chambers and thus multiply all spare parts involved, resulting in an increase in operational costs that is directly proportional to the increase in production.
Perhaps the biggest challenge facing recyclers today is there are so many different types of plastics. For far too long, the United States has elected to send harder-to-recycle plastics to landfills rather than find viable options like the one FIMIC is providing.
In some cases, the material can be so contaminated that the only possibility is to filter it twice. In order to avoid the costs related to the necessity of two extruders, FIMIC has recently designed a self-cleaning filter that can filter the melt twice in the same machine, containing a progressive double filtration chamber. The first will act as a pre-filtration step, the second one will perform the final filtration step. This is very useful not only to protect the laser drilled screen, but also to reach a higher quality thanks to the double filtration passage.
FIMIC filters has allowed us to treat and work with a material that was not recyclable before. Adding the melt filter to our production line has improved the quality of the final material, a material that can be now reused to make new products. We also noticed that it's not necessary anymore the constant intervention of the operator. FIMIC has stand by our side throughout the entire journey as customers, since day one, during the installation, and it doesn't leave us afterwards, giving us a fast and efficient customer support.
If nothing changes, it is predicted that by 2050, 12 billion metric tons of plastic will sit in landfills. It's a staggering amount that is 35,000 times as heavy as the Empire State Building. FIMIC is committed to ensuring that this prediction never becomes a reality.
The plastic industry is very important to the global economy, and increasing its sustainability, moving towards a more prosperous, sustainable and circular plastic economy can bring new opportunities, greater added value and considerable benefits. But it requires a shared vision and the cooperation of all its key players. Not only the company has considerably improved its core product, the RAS model, but it has also added to its range of solution a double filtration machine, the ERA, and the belt-type model, the TEM. FIMIC works every day to achieve an increasingly efficient recycling of materials, supporting projects like RUR. FIMIC is part of APR, the Association of Plastic Recyclers, and PRE, Plastics Recyclers Europe, sharing and communicating knowledge of the benefits associated to the recycling of plastics.
Recyclass is a cross-industry initiative which is led by recyclers, converters, brand owners, raw material producers and waste management companies who work towards making plastic packaging fully circular. To support the industry on their journey towards circularity, Recyclass grants access to a free online tool which assesses plastic packaging compatibility with recycling. It is based on Design for Recycling guidelines continuously updated according to the scientific findings from laboratory testing.
FIMIC's goal is a noble one, to raise the level of awareness about the importance of plastic recycling to the average American consumer and to help recycling companies in the United States realize that it is possible to recycle many plastic types that have long been thought to be unrecyclable. It is through this approach that FIMIC is showing that a global problem can only be addressed at home in each one of our communities.